Hey guys, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right, I'm happy that it's Thursday because that means we just have the Real Housewives of Miami to cover tomorrow, a couple pre-records, and then I most likely will be taking Saturday off to just catch up on life. You know, Jason and I were gone last week in Los Angeles. I feel like my dogs need to go to the beach. My house needs to have like a complete deep clean. There's so much for us to do that's not YouTube involved. So either I'm going to sneak up, wake up in the morning, do some pre-records while Jason's sleeping, or I might take the day off. We'll just have to play it by ear. In the meantime, though, we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami star Alexia Ecchevarria's son, Peter Rosello. He's now been cleared of his domestic violence charges after an investigation finds no evidence of battery. Now, I have a lot of questions about this, especially with the way it played out. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it looks like Alexia Ecchevarria's son from the Real Housewives of Miami, Peter Rosello, has been cleared of domestic violence charges following a supposed encounter with a girlfriend in January. Weeks after the 29-year-old Real Housewives of Miami cast member who Alexia shares with her former husband, drug kingpin Pedro Peggy Rosello, and if you haven't seen him on the Cocaine Cowboys, definitely go watch, was arrested and accused of getting physical with the unnamed woman. An attorney has confirmed the case has been dismissed. We have a lot of questions here, but let me give you the details before I ask. After a pre-file investigation of the case by the state attorney's office, the decision was made not to file charges against Peter Alexander Rosello. There was no evidence to support the allegations. The case was dismissed and is now closed. Attorney Peter Heller said in a statement to Reality Blurb this week. In early January, Peter was taken into custody, charged with misdemeanor battery, and dealt with a bond of $1,500. It's not a lot. I mean, for a situation like this, $1,500 is still $1,500. But for this and for Alexia and her big opulent lifestyle, I'm sure it took nothing for her to run up to the police department and get her son out of jail. At the time, a spokesperson for the Miami-Dade Police Department claimed that Peter and his girlfriend had engaged in an argument at their apartment that allegedly got physical. The defendant then proceeded to knee the victim in her crotch area, causing her to fall down to the ground. And this is what a report stated via page 6. The defendant then kicked the victim once while she was on the ground. Peter, who obviously had a lot of drama surrounding this and also had drama on the show with Alexia's now husband, Todd, was also accused of grabbing the victim by her arm and pulling her back inside of the apartment. This is the police explaining this. However, despite the claims made against him, Peter has been vindicated by the investigation and his family couldn't be happier to put the ordeal behind them. According to a source close to the family, they are happy with the results of the investigation and look forward to moving on. And although Alexia didn't say much about Peter's arrest, she did offer a brief statement about the issue while appearing on Watch What Happens Live. And that was at the end of last month. She said, "I really can't talk about that, so I'm not going to, but he does have legal representation. And at this point, we're denying the allegations." She said on the January 25th show, "That's all I can say at this point. As a mother, obviously you can feel my pain." I mean, my question is, and for you guys, maybe this is in somebody's realm. I'm not in the legal field. I'm not a police officer. I've never been. I don't really know how this works. But what they said happened was Peter and his girlfriend got into a fight. She wanted to leave and she wanted to go to her parents' house. He wasn't allegedly letting her leave, so he wouldn't let her out of the house. He grabbed her by the arm. They said he grabbed her and was kind of like withholding her back, and she was trying to get away. He dropped her to the ground by kneeing her in the crotch and then kicking her, allegedly. And now they're saying this didn't happen. But then finally, when she made it to the door, she opened the door and one of the neighbors heard her screaming. That neighbor then helped her out of the door and called the police, and this neighbor was a witness to everything. So with a witness and an alleged victim, how does something like this get dismissed so quick? Now, I asked this on Wake Up and Adam, my morning show, and some people said maybe it's money, maybe somebody was bought off, maybe he actually didn't do it, and this is all true. we don't have the full facts. We just have to go with what they're saying. And I'm not saying anyone is lying here. The fact that it's been dismissed and they have no actual evidence, it's telling, right? You would think. But then I'm watching some of the comments, especially on social media, Twitter, and people commenting on these different articles surrounding Alexia and her family, and they're saying something is not adding up. So I want to know what they're talking about. Because again, I don't have the background and I'm not alluding to anything. Just want to be clear about that. I don't know if you can actually, once someone is arrested, I don't think that, because people said, well, what if she dropped the charges? I think it's not up to you at the point that you're arrested to drop the charges, for her to drop the charges. I think it's up to the prosecutor. And I don't really think you can be, I don't think they could have offered her money and been like, please drop the charges here, take the money, because now it's already, made it into the system. He's been arrested. And with being arrested, does that make sense? Can you buy somebody off in a situation like this when it's alleged domestic violence? I have questions, a lot of them. Guys, go ahead and comment below. What do you feel about this? What are your thoughts? Is there something I'm missing? I know normally I would ask Emily D. Baker, but this isn't an Emily D. Baker question, I don't think, and I can't bother her with all of my questions. I try to, but she also has an entire YouTube channel, a family, and I have to pick and choose what I want to ask her about. So usually I save it for the Girardi cases or something like that. But for you guys, we have quite the colorful community right here as a part of the Addams family, and everybody's from all different backgrounds and careers. I'm sure somebody has something or some sort of information, not on them, but on how this would play out. So again, go ahead and comment below. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Also, I know I've said this in all of my pre-records, but Zach and I, you guys know this at this point, we are coming to LA, Nashville, in New York. It's going to be April 7th, 13th, and 28th. 7th is LA. We have so many surprises for LA. We just announced yesterday that in Nashville on the 13th, Emily D. Baker will be co-hosting with us, which is incredible. And I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to meet her, because you're going to love her as much as I do. And the law nerd community is fantastic. And then we have a few surprises you guys are going to freak out about in New York. The problem is, and it's not a problem, it's actually amazing, the venues are a little bit smaller. So if you haven't bought your tickets, make sure you go buy them. The venues sit 100 to 150 people, and we chose smaller venues because we didn't know if people would actually show up to support. And now we're just overwhelmed with a lot of support and love. So thank you, but make sure you get your tickets before you sell out, because we're anticipating sometime this month not having any left. I love you guys. Go to spillingtealive.com and don't forget to do the commenty stuff. Bye.